Hello everybody, it's Harris here with the Chelsea Area Chamber of Commerce, and I am joined today by Kip Hamp, the new Executive Director of Huron-Waterloo's Pathway Initiative. You've been there since when?
Since February.
Since February. Well, thank you for joining me today.
Yes, thanks for having me.
We are on the B2B.
We are.
This is the new segment that's coming straight out of Vets Park.
Yep.
Curling around.
Yep. Around
It's Timbertown.
Exactly.
And then heads on north.
Heads north, up, over to M52, and then meets up at Workner Road and keeps going up to Linden Township. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, more on that in a second. First, why don't you give everybody out there that doesn't know, obviously they've probably heard of the B2B trail. They might not have heard of Huron-Waterloo Pathways Initiative. If you give us a little bit of a background on that, that would be great.
Absolutely, yeah. So we're kind of a nonprofit private partner of the B2B trail, formed in 2017, and I came on board, we said it in February. So we focus mostly on fundraising and trail development, and we help to support the project engineering costs as well as trail development costs. Our major partner being Washington County Parks and Rec Commission,
Nice.
Who's the private entity. We don't own any of the trails, so that's kind of a tricky part of it as the nonprofit partner. The Parks Department owns a lot of it,
Right.
as do the cities throughout the county.
Sure.
So yeah, our big charge is to support the development of the trail, fundraise for the trail, and we are now growing kind of a community engagement and community outreach and potentially programmatic arm of the organization.
That's awesome.
So over time we'll build in more of that.
Very cool. Yeah, I didn't realize that's an interesting fact. I suppose if I would have really thought about it, I'd been like, well, yeah, they probably don't own the trails, but it's interesting to spend that much time developing all these things and then just be like, okay, here you go.
There you go. Yeah. And it makes it, in terms of having events or races, it makes it very tricky because you go, you're about a mile and someone else owns the trail and someone else owns the trail. But that's the nature of trails. I mean, any trail system anywhere essentially has that.
Well, especially one of this scale. I mean, you guys are doing something really amazing here. So far, right now, we've got trail headed all the way from, the Linden Township Hall to town.
Yep.
And then you've got a chunk between Chelsea and Dexter that is not done.
We have two chunks, actually.
Two chunks.
Not connected
okay.
chunks.
Yes. Yep. The big one obviously goes all the way to almost Lima Center there, and then I saw there's a whole bunch of new pieces that just went in between, Wiley Road.
It's Wiley.
No, it's cool.
It
doesn't matter. Steinbach or something like that. But basically, the plan. Do you have an idea of when we'll see a continuous trail from Chelsea to Dexter?
So we're meeting with folks in Dexter in the next couple of weeks to talk about the connection over the Mill Creek.
Sure.
So that will be kind of a big stretch. We're targeting the next year to 2 years, and that will connect into downtown Dexter.
That'd be so exciting.
And then from there over to the Huron River Drive corridor, which is going to be kind of probably the last sort of big stretch.
Yeah, that'll be so cool. I know, and that's the thing. I know it goes all the way Ann Arbor and all that stuff. For us out here on the west side, I can tell you, whether you're a person who likes to bike or you just drive down Dexter-Chelsea Road, it's very exciting to know that there's about to be a path to get those bikers off the road.
Yes.
Because it's safer for them and it's less stressful for all us drivers. So that'll be really awesome. It's such a nice wide trail too. I noticed you guys are doing some concrete, some asphalt. Is that just based on the pricing and what changes, whatever's most affordable at the time?
Exactly, yeah. I mean, I'm not the construction expert.
Understood.
We have plenty of those that support. But to my understanding, that the switch to concrete was because of price originally.
Sure.
Although I think it's actually more durable and lasts longer.
It is,
anyway.
I was going to say, I believe cement tends to hold up a lot better, so it's nice. And it is nice if you're a rollerblader like me and you're like, oh, there's the sections. They're so small, you'll never even notice. And you got big slabs, so really nice trail. Well done. Just got to watch out for the mulberries on this stretch.
There are a lot of mulberries.
Yeah. Rollerblades and mulberries don't mix. Well, that is very cool. Now, you guys also have something else coming up that you're going to be hoping to roll out in the near future.
Yeah, so we're starting to put together it's put together conceptually. We're starting to implement a wayfinding and signage system that's going to be much more robust than what currently exists. The last sign updates, I believe, were 2008 on the B2B trail, mostly on the east.
It's been a minute.
So it's been a little while, and so one of the biggest things we run into is that there's trails, and there's, especially because we're not continuous yet. In a few years, when we're completed, we'll be 55 miles straight. But right now, and especially in the cities, it's sort of like if you're in Ypsilanti or in Dexter, getting through the city, it's sort of what am I on? Am I on the B2B trail or not? Right. So we're starting to put in some various levels of wayfinding.
Awesome.
The Linden Township Trailhead will have a big primary wayfinding system, a primary node we're calling it, and then we're having smaller ones throughout. So that's going to hopefully start later this fall, if not early next year, and over time be throughout the whole county.
That's awesome.
Very clear on the Beaver Trail.
Yes, that's great. Well, and that'll be good. As you said, it is so expansive. I imagine that's going to be very useful. Now, as far as headed north, right now you've got a really convenient parking there at the Township Hall, Winter Township Hall, so you can kind of, if you want to, don't want to do it down and back, you can leave a car here, leave a car there, and all that stuff, or just start at that end and do some down and back. But there is plans to keep going north.
There are.
And where do we see it making it headed north?
So the plan is to go all the way into Stockbridge and connect to the Lakeland Trail.
Okay.
In Stockbridge.
Yeah.
So that's obviously that's outside of Washington County. What we are as HWPI is starting to do, not just with Jackson and Ingham counties, but on the east side with Van Buren and western Wayne County, doing a field trail connections to the BW Trail. So the idea that the trails don't have to end at the borders of the Washington County. We are the border-to-border trail.
Right.
But as HWPI, so the Park Department won't be working on that as much, but we can still support connectors.
Well, it just makes sense to put them all together.
Because people don't care where the county line is.
And so this is great timing. So I just was going to make a point about how versatile these are. We walked up today and we saw one of our good friends riding home his bike for lunchtime. Right after that, two lovely ladies came up in a hilarious bike that we'll post a picture of with a dog on the back, and then here you got children just running by. And so I just think it's so wonderful. I love that we have things like the DTE trail for the aggressive mountain bikers, and we have the nice trails in town for people to just walk around Silver Maples and whatnot like that. But this is just something of another scale. It's just so impressive and what you guys are doing, and I'm a big part, obviously, with the Chamber of Commerce. I love the aspect that it always is about pushing traffic into the town.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you always stop the trail and force the traffic right through the areas, and then it starts back up and takes you to the next town.
Yeah, and you just hit on two big things we talk about all the time. One is trail access, and that means anyone can use it. They're all ADA accessible. Mm-hmm. It can be rollerbladers, bikers, walkers, bird watchers, on and on and on, and then benefiting local economies, tying the communities, bringing communities together, is another huge thing. So it's all about allowing anyone to get out there and be a part of the community and get where they want to go.
Yep, be active, live a healthy lifestyle. I love it. Well, that seems like a good spot to stop. Make sure to come check out this new section. More sections to come.
Yep, absolutely.
And have a great day. Get out there and rollerblade, bike it, walk it, hike it.
We'll see you on the trail.
See you on the trail.